some of you who are watching this video may be suffering. So could be suffering from physical pain or emotional pain or mental suffering you might be going through. So we are human and we go through certain time to have this suffering. However, if it continues for many years, it is important to look what it is. I have also experienced physical pain from the illness, but also there are certain ways to overcome. Even though you have pain, you can actually create blessing moment. So suffering can be in the scale of 1 to 10. It could be physical suffering or mental suffering. And I think probably in this modern society, maybe the mental suffering can be greater than actual physical pain. In the ancient time, maybe the food was scarcity and there was more physical endurance than mental endurance. But these days, mental suffering is greater, and which has caused like burnout and anxiety or depression, etc., etc. Often we say in Buddhism, which I also shared in my previous video, the cause of suffering is desire. And we have desire as a human being. And if you are currently suffering from illness, you might say, yeah, this suffering is from my physical pain and it's from illness and it is not my desire. But I would like you to take everything, just put aside and just go into about this desire. So the desire, we say we have 108 desires that cause suffering in our life. Okay, so it is normal that we have desire, we get hungry and we need to eat. So we have cravings and we can get really thirsty, we can get really hungry, and that's have desire. So in Japanese kanji character, it is, and also the Japanese word, the concept of this is called Yoku. And the kanji character, the left side of this kanji character indicate the symbol of valley, and right side is the symbol of the luck. So the left side, it could be also some container that has dent. This can be the shape of valley. There is empty inside. So, and right side is the luck. So it means the situation or the state for the luck to be filled. So the need to fill the luck, something lacking in our life. So the desire coming from the place of luck. Then when we fill up, we have satisfaction, temporary satisfaction. For example, when we eat, when we are hungry, and when we eat, we get full. But some hours later, we get hungry again. And we can, of course, minimize this suffering by eating more frequently, or maybe if you're doing fasting, you can also train our mind not to feel this desire. And desire can be controllable. And what we don't notice is that when we have this suffering from our desire can be our goal to achieve something, or that's actually if it's coming from something we feel we lack, inadequate or insecure. And that is lack in our inner world. So it means our container of our heart is empty. Then we try to fill our container of feeling, emotion to be full. But it goes down again and try to fill it again. So if you are going through the loop of getting qualification one after another's, or trying to have the list of degrees, unnecessary list of degrees, or unnecessary qualification, one after another. And if you still feel inadequate, insecure, you need to just pause and look at. So it is, of course, great to keep studying, keep getting qualifications, and enhancing our skill set for the lifetime. And I love doing that as well, keep learning. So you might get some qualifications, degree, but after that you think, well, this was not what I wish to do, or I still feel inadequate, and try something else, and try something else. And it might go into this loop of trying to get something, try to validate ourselves. So that is coming from this emptiness, empty place in our heart, in our inner world. So we cannot feel this satisfaction just by getting another things from outside. So it is a time to look into it. So then this becomes, it's not just about getting skill, and it is just filling up something lacking in yourself. And you might think, yes, I'm adding more qualification, I'm adding more skills, but what you need there was not the outer paper certification. It was something that is needed in your heart. So that is we need to see where this desire is coming from. It is from the empty space. And what is this empty space? Is this actual physical things from outside, or something that we really need to fill up by ourselves? So if you are physical suffering from illness, you might say, well, I have this illness, this condition, and this is normal to suffer. So how can I get out of this suffering? How can I get better? Because I don't want to get illness, I want to be better. And in this sense, you might think, well, I don't have anything empty in our heart. And it is normal, we condition when we are sick, it is normal that we suffer, we have to suffer. So when we are suffering from illness, we think, okay, our desire becomes, I want to get rid of this illness and I want to get better. This is my desire and it is normal. And how can I get better? I want to get rid of this illness. And then our heart, what is empty here, is the health and what we cannot do, and it's just everything is just so empty, we might think, in our life, and we want to fill up, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this and this. So everything in our life when we are suffering from physical illness is empty. But that's just how our mind perceive the situation, and we can change that mindset. So in that sense, our suffering and our desire of getting better is from, well, of course, it is personal desire to get better, but also from the place of lack. And also this is one of the secret how we can get better. So we can think, well, you might think, how can we fill this empty container, the list of things what I cannot do? How can we fill up this empty container? Because I have so many list of things that I cannot do and I want to do, and I have the right to be healthy and to be able to do these things, everything. So that's usually our mind operates, and we are the one who has this control over it. So let's say it's in these sufferings, so we can actually bring this desire to wish and to the prayer of appreciation. So we focus on, especially when we are ill if you're in a hospital bed or if you're really suffering, we focus on what we cannot do, and which is normal, and I don't blame you. But then to get over this suffering, even in the middle of suffering, we can just start changing this mindset to find what's in this bowl of container. So let's say, well, okay, so this is empty, but well, you can see this beautiful hand-painted art and beautiful craftsmanship. There is a signature, the touch, and although this is empty, this has a form. Anything has a form. So this has a form, and I can touch and I can feel. So our heart, when we feel empty, we cannot do things, we cannot do sports, many other things, or even you cannot eat. So then see what we have now. Our body, our family or loved one, we all have parents, even if they have passed away. Without them, we are not on this earth, so we can appreciate them. We are still alive, even though when we are ill or when we are in a state of deep suffering, we are alive on this earth, and we can start appreciating small things. So to start, okay, we have our body together, and we can still think, we can talk, even if we have pain, or we have a voice, we can hear, we can see. So we can start just appreciating what is normal. We can breathe. You might be surprised how this air is beautiful compared to the confined hospital room. So you can just start appreciating, you can breathe. And so then you can start filling up this emptiness with appreciation. So even if you are in the middle of suffering, and if you are complaining, and if you are feeling victim, blaming others, just it takes courage and also practice to change the way you think. It's a circuit in your brain, and we have to change this neurological system. But we have to recalibrate how we think. So we can start putting appreciation into this cup instead of looking at the emptiness and trying to fill, which we cannot. So we can actually put appreciation. So when appreciation maybe becomes very full, but then we can still keep putting appreciation into our life. So prayer of appreciation. So then becomes this yoku, the desire, personal desire, started getting filled with appreciation, and this is going to be transformed to other form. And gradually, because if you are already filled with appreciation, the world around you starts changing. The energy also changes, and also that relax our mind and our heartbeat. So it affects our state of being, and it starts inviting healing process. So appreciation, healing, this goes hand in hand. So even right now, probably many people want to have more money and relationship and a house, etc., etc. But we started putting focus on adding appreciation into the cup you have, rather than seeing as empty and trying to fill with more money or relationship or whatever you want. And instead, if you start putting appreciation into this cup, all aspect of life start changing. So we can transform the suffering to this appreciation. So we can transform the state of personal desire of yoku, habit of looking at what is missing, to make a habit to fill with appreciation. It is easy to say, and difficult to do, but I can guarantee it will bring some changes in your life and you can transform this suffering. Thank you for watching. If you want to work with me on one-on-one coaching, the information and the more details are in description. The link is in the description. Thank you and see you next time.